Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Brandy Walker. I'm a Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I've got Diamond Ambassador Angie Zumwalt on here with me tonight. And we are so excited to talk to you guys a little bit about Instagram and just go over. I'm going to change the view here a little bit. Okay, and just go over. I don't know why it's showing like that. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the view. Sorry. Okay, and just kind of go over some tips that we've learned, and just some things that are sort of simple, but we're also going to give you some resources on where to find information as well on Instagram. Angie and I don't, we don't claim to be, Insta famous or Instagram gurus, but we do. We have studied this a good bit, and so we just want to share a few things with you guys. First of all, Instagram has just announced that it is no longer a photo sharing app. And when I first heard this, I kind of almost panicked. I was like, what do you mean it's not a photo sharing app? Like, that's what Instagram is. But TikTok has kind of blown up over the last couple of years. And I think that Instagram is sort of shifting towards a model somewhat like TikTok. And it doesn't mean that you can't share photos on Instagram, but what it does mean is that it's not going to put the focus on your just regular posts with photos. It's going to be pushing reels, Instagram TV, stories, and anything live. So any kind of video is going to be super, super important. And so, if you're not really comfortable in front of the camera, that's okay, y'all. I never really was either, but you just, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And, there's things that you can record ahead of time, if you're not really comfortable going live yet, but that will come. It'll get a lot easier the more you do it. So the first thing we want to talk about is your profile, and Angie's going to talk about that. Oh, we can't hear you, Angie.
Okay, I was pulling up my notes here. Sorry, I forgot to unmute. Okay, so your profile is very, very important because this is what people are going to come to and automatically decide. Like it could be a make or break, or if people decide they're going to want to follow you or not. So I'm going to kind of pull up my profile, and you'll probably see my notes at the same time. But I'm going to share my profile and kind of just go over the important things on the profile. And maybe I'll pull up my notes on my phone so that way it's not distracting. So I'm going to, am I able to share my screen, Brandy?
You should be able to if you just logged in. Let's see.
I think you just have to make me a host, maybe.
Yes, just one. Okay. Angie Zumwalt, make host. Okay, you should be good.
Okay. So
yes,
let's go over to my 5,000 tabs that are open. Okay, so I am going to go to my Instagram home. Wait, profile. And there's some key things that you want when you're looking at your profile. I know that some people might have like go-to girl or like something different for their name. To me, I think it's easier if you, I just had my first name, last name. Where people can search when you do your profile is here. That is something that would make your profile searchable. So whether you have, your name or like something special, I don't think that really matters. I kind of think it's important to have your name. That's my personal opinion. But when you're doing your profile, you want something that's going to give a short description of what your niche is or why you're wanting to draw people in. So for me, it's women's wellness and freedom, like freedom lifestyle. Also, we're going to touch on a couple of things, and I'm going to go just a tiny bit into detail. And then after that, I have that I'm an entrepreneur. And then I have my help statement. And a help statement is really, really important. And so if you need help writing your help statement, here's just a quick little example. So to create your help statement, it would be I help. And of course, you could do I empower, or if you wanted to use some other kind of word, blank, do blank, so that they can blank. And that's just a simple little thing that you can use to help create. And maybe, when I was trying to think of mine, I really started thinking about my values and what that I want to represent. And then that's kind of how I created mine there. So, and if you are able to, there's only so many characters. Sometimes you want to do like a little call to action, like I have let's chat. So that's just kind of my basic on my help. I'm going to show you real quick. If you go to edit your profile, this is where you would change your, where it says name, that's where I did wellness and freedom. So that way, when you search me, if you search wellness, my face is going to come up. And so I'll show you that in just a second. My username is up at the top. There's where my bio is. You could put your website in there. You could do your link tree. I'm still kind of in the works of that, of creating a health quiz and different things. There's a lot of different things you can do there, but don't overwhelm yourself with too much. Just the basic is your name, kind of put a small thing of what you're about so that that's searchable, your help statement. And then I think that's all in that. And you only have so many times that you're able to change your profile. So make sure that when you do it, like that's what you want, because you're only allotted so many times in order to do that. So your tiles here, they're just kind of like your story highlight tiles. It's really good to have maybe your story, kind of something that's going to represent your brand. And here are your little story covers. You can search that. You don't have to spend money on the story covers. You can go and search on Google and find lots of free story covers that you use. And in order to do that story cover, you would just go in and you select edit. I think you do it from your phone. I can't figure out how to do it. You select edit, and then it'll allow you to put that picture in there as your story tiles. And you just kind of want those to be something that goes along with the colors that you're posting in your brand colors or whatever you have there. Sorry. Okay. I think that's it on your profile. Oh, your picture, your profile picture. This is very, very important. Your profile picture, you want a close-up of yourself. You want something that clearly shows your face, and you want to be no sunglasses on. You want to be directly looking in the camera. This is very important because it gives that personal contact, and it just makes it more personal, more relational. People connect with you better. So you really, really want to make sure. And even throughout, I want to encourage you, and Brady will kind of go over this in a minute, but even throughout, when you're doing stories and different things like that, try to not always have your sunglasses on. Really, really look in the camera, because this is a really amazing way to go from like a cold market lead to a warm market lead, because people get to know you looking at people in the eye, talking directly to the person. So make sure, if you do not already have your profile picture, you want it to be you. and you want to make sure no sunglasses on, looking directly into the camera. It just makes it a lot more personal. On your profile account, there are a lot of different types of accounts that you can have. The account that we would recommend, that we would suggest, and are also suggested by,
go in there and then sit.
are also suggested by a lot of other, Instagram people, is to have a creator account. And the reason why you want a creator account is because it's going to allow you to view your insights. It's going to give you a lot more options on what you can do and freedom on what you can do. And it's going to allow you to view your insights. And since we're here, I think this is not on my profile part, but I'm just going to go over it just really, really quickly. Or actually, I'll wait just a second, because we'll do that when we talk about engagement. And I will kind of show you your profile part. But our next part that we're going to talk about now is stories. And Brandy is really, really amazing at stories. So she's going to share some great tips that she has learned on sharing in stories.
Whoops. Okay. Sorry, you guys couldn't hear me. I just said, I don't know that I'm amazing, but I have, been doing this for a little while, and these are just some tips that I've learned, some, trial and error, and some by, some courses I've taken and such. But, why do we do reels, and, why do we do stories? First of all, stories are because, you have your news feed, and that is, really going to be where your reels are, and where your, your highlights, the things where you look the best, and things are more perfect on your feed. But in your stories, that's just kind of like, that's real life. So that's a great place that people can get to know you, and you can get to know, get to know your followers. And things like just talking, you get on there and make little short video clips and let them see your face, show them things like this week. We've been working in our garage, and, that doesn't really have anything to do with my niche, but it is what we're doing at my house. And so I've kind of been, putting a little bit of that in my stories, just so that people kind of follow along, and they see that I'm a real person, and, I'm, I get out there and work, and I just do just normal life things. And I think it helps, different people relate to you with different things. That's all. I guess it is sort of a little bit of my niche, because part of my niche is being an empty nester. And that, that's something that my husband and I do as an empty nester couple, as we get together and we work on projects. So doing stories are a great way that you can, if you're an over poster and you want to post like 3 to 5 times a day, you can always do that in your stories. Years ago, when we first started Plexus, on Facebook and Instagram, you could post literally as many times a day as you wanted to. It was totally fine. But now that's not necessarily. And actually for Instagram, for a long time, it had gone back to just only 1 post a day. Now they're saying even more posts a day is better. So, I feel like Instagram changes so often, but y'all, if we are in, the social media business, basically, so we have to keep up. And I'm sorry, it's raining, so I hope you guys can hear me. I was not expecting that. It's like came out of nowhere. But we really have to keep up with technology. That's, that's part of our job. And it's actually kind of fun to me. Sometimes it can be frustrating, but I just follow certain people, and I really get into, okay, what's the newest thing on Instagram, and what can we do to bring more attention to our feed. Y'all, I am really sorry. It is coming down. Sorry about that. Can y'all hear me okay? No? Yes? Okay. Okay. Like I said, stories can be posted any time of day or night. It doesn't, in your feed, there's, certain time frames, but it doesn't really matter, because they stay up for 24 hours. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to stick with your niche. It's best to, but if you're going to be letting people in on your everyday life, then you definitely don't have to. It's a great place that you can post about Plexus literally every day. And you should really post about Plexus every day in your stories, not necessarily in your feed, but in your stories for sure. You want to post a lot of like polls and questions as often as you can. Y'all give people a chance to interact with you. And the more questions you ask, the more likely they are to at least click on one of them, and that's just a great way that you can go back and then you can reply to them in the DMs, in their messages. You can actually respond to them. And that is just a way. It doesn't even have to be about your niche or about buying plexus. It really shouldn't be, but that's a great way to get in there and message them and, just kind of build that relationship with them and just, keep the conversation going. Excuse me. You can do different types of posts in there. Like I said, the everyday life. You can do little short and sweet educational posts about, maybe B vitamins or gut health or anything like that. You can do a little tutorial on how to make a lean shake. Maybe you've got a green smoothie that you're making with our lean shake or something. That's kind of something I do. So, but any kind of video or anything, videos are wonderful. Like, and if you think about it, what are you most likely to watch? Whenever you're scrolling through, are you going to sit and read these long posts, or are you more likely to listen to somebody talk with the captions on? Captions are very important because most people honestly listen to stories. I mean, they watch stories with the sound off. So it's important just, for them to see you talking, but try to do the captions. And that's a great option that Instagram rolled out not too long ago, so that you can, people can lay in bed with their husband asleep and they can still see what you're talking about. And that is so me, y'all. I'm one of those that I lay in the bed with my, my blanket over my head. So my light on my phone didn't wake Toby up, and then I read all the captions. So your followers are going to do that as well. Let's see. You can also do a new post alert. So if you've got a new reel or a new post in your feed, you can put that in your story and maybe, share your reel or your post to your story and just put like a little sticker over it that says like new reel, new story, something like that. And that just will kind of direct people, if they're interested in seeing what you posted, sometimes they'll just click on it or go right to your feed and check it out. Let's see. I'm trying to think if that's anything. Oh, the last thing is in your stories, you can use hashtags. So hashtags are obviously where people, you can search for hashtags, but they'll also be in your stories. If you don't want a whole bunch of hashtags actually on your picture, you can do the hashtags, and then you can actually take it and just put your finger on it and slide it all the way off the screen, and you can't even see them, or pull it down. You can't even see them, but they're still there and still searchable. So that is a really cool thing that I learned. Or you can kind of click on them a couple times and it'll make them super light. You can make them really, really tiny, and you can cover them up with stickers. You can use, 8 to 15 hashtags, or maybe actually in a story, I think it's only 9. I can't remember. There's a limit. I want to say it's like 9 is max, but for maximum views, use as many hashtags as you can. Sometimes I get busy and I forget to do that, but when I do, I get so many more views on my stories for sure. So when you're asking questions, I just did a story, I think it was last week or the week before, and I just did a whole series of questions, and it just things like, why do you follow me? What would you like to see me follow, or what would you like to see me post more of? And y'all, I got so much interaction with things like that. I don't remember exactly. I'll try to, for the people that are on here, I'll try to get that list of questions and send it to you, because it really, really worked with people interacting with me. I was kind of shocked that so many people, actually replied. So it's pretty interesting to see who will reply. Some people that I didn't even honestly realize that they even followed me, and it was pretty cool. So I think that's about all. Angie, do you have anything to add with stories?
Yeah, I mean, I think you pretty much touched on everything. Like I said, we're like, stories is just a way that you can have that cold market become the warm market. That's where people get to know you. That's where they get to know your real life. And even like the stupidest things, like people want to see it. It's like that sneak peek into your real life. I mean, all of the rest of it, I feel like is kind of like, this is the pretty picture of my life, but okay, here's all the messy and real stuff. So I mean, stories are so important.
People are really drawn to not the perfect made up face and the perfect. They want to see you in the messy bun out there working and sweaty and your room a mess and laundry. I mean, they want to see that because they can relate to that. I don't really know any perfect people. And so I know that the people that I follow and the people that I relate to are the ones that show me their real, true, authentic self in their stories. And so, yeah.
So we're going to talk about kind of just a quick thing. And really, this is going to be for anything in social media, whether you're doing Facebook, whether you're doing Instagram, just some really simple tips on 5 types of posts that you should be creating. So you want to inspire, you want to educate, whether that's educate on gut health, educate on the products, educate on ingredients, educate. I mean, there's so many things within what we do that you can educate. And there might even be things that you're really good at that has nothing to do with Plexus, but you could bring people in, educating them through that. So educate, entertain, connect, and sell. And when I said sell, I grew up in the car business. And for me, like for the longest time, really until recently, when I'm like sell, I'm like, oh, I don't like that word. It feels so icky. And I think of like a car salesman, and I don't want to sell to my friends. I want to share with my friends, and I want to be a share person or whatever, to make myself feel better about sell. But if you're not selling, you're not growing. And we've got to take that stigma off of selling as like your friends are going to buy vitamins. Your friends are going to buy probiotic, like whatever, like you are helping better their lives. So you really need to like take that stigma off. But those are things I really want to encourage you all to kind of just take a snapshot of your social media and see what you're missing, because it's really important that you're touching on all of those things as you're posting. So just real quick, inspire would be like feel, something feel good, a quote, a story, make them think, like inspirational content, offering value to them in an inspirational way. Maybe it's a motivational quote or, different things like that. So educate would be to teach. It's a great way to offer value, giving health tips, giving exercise tips, whatever kind of tips you are really good at. Fun facts, like an FAQ, like kind of like a question and answer. Those are good things that you could even do in your stories too. Maybe like a mini training, or like you could use IGTV series, or you could do a Facebook Live. There are a lot of different ways that you could educate. Here, entertain, make them laugh. Like this world is, I don't even want to think about like everything that's going on in this world right now, y'all. It's so heavy, and people need to laugh and feel good and, just disconnect from all the crazy heaviness that's going on right now. Make them laugh. Show them your personality. Entertaining, like reels. There is no better way to show someone your personality, I think, than doing reels. Like it's the funnest thing to me, I think, ever. Show them your personality, your sense of humor. Make fun of yourself or a situation. Be real and authentic. Show them something, maybe they haven't seen. Video content is a fabulous way to entertain. And I promise you, if you think it's stupid, people are going to love it. Connecting with people, being authentic, sharing your story. We talked about earlier where I talked about in your highlight reels, having your story in there is a great thing, because when your little highlight reels, your stories work for you when you're sleeping. So you really want to utilize that with your friends. If you get a friend that does like send you, oh my goodness, I've never slept better, I haven't slept this good in 3 years, or whatever, screenshot that, put it in your stories, and then on your little highlight reel, have one that says testimonies. Anytime you get anything like that, so people are looking at them, people are looking at before and afters. Telling your story, if you have not shared a quick snippet of your pleximony, your testimony, share it in your story, and then put it on your story highlight reel is really good to do. And that's a great way to connect with people. Be vulnerable. I really, really want to encourage you to be vulnerable. Sometimes when you do that through your stories, it's not as scary. Open up, share embarrassing moments, be human, share your imperfect self, and then sell. Selling would be sharing the benefits, sharing a problem and solution, sharing why it matters. Make it easy. You know, the big thing is like when you're selling, you want to make it easy for them to buy. You don't want to make things complicated. So if you're doing like a call to action, like a really simple call to action is really good. You really want to make things simple and streamlined and be real and authentic when doing your content. And a really big thing about content, y'all, is consistency. Consistency is key. And I will even admit the summer got crazy. Life gets crazy sometimes. It just happens. It happens to me. It happens to Brandy. It happens to all of us. And I will tell you, I got on a roll with my Instagram, with my social media. And like, I could tell in my numbers and my insights how everything was going. And y'all, I'm having to work back up again, because I can tell my engagement's not as much, different things, because I haven't been consistent. So consistency is key. And I know that life is crazy and things get busy. So if it's important to you, you're going to make time for it. Okay. I really want to encourage you, y'all. If you know me, I am like not organized, hot mess half the time, but something that I have done actually recently, because I'm like, okay, I got to get back, because I've seen that not being consistent, what it has done. And literally I got out my calendar for September. I did through the rest of this month. And then for September, I went to, like national days in September. I found different holidays in September. I wrote it on the calendar. But I have planned out my post for the whole month of September. And what I did is I just planned 3 posts a week. And if I fill something else in, it's great. But by doing that, now I've taken the guesswork out of, I have this whole planner that I have written down like what I'm going to be doing on all of those days. And that's through looking through reels and finding reels that I liked, and I saved them. And I'm like, ooh, I'd like to recreate that. And so I have it written down on the day that I'm going to do it. And we'll go a little more into that in a minute. Or, I picked holidays, or I picked kids' birthdays. And by planning it out, it kind of takes that stress off of you, especially, I know that Chris is a teacher. I know that a lot of us have kids that are going back to school and readjusting to this schedule. And so I love that, like, failure to plan is planning to fail. And if you want to be successful, you've got to make a plan, and then you don't feel so frazzled. So I really think that's super, super important, that you kind of even planning out your social media there. And so Brandy is going to go a little bit more into and talk about reels that I think are so super fun.
Sorry, I keep muting myself because of the rain, but it's kind of slowing down a little bit, so hopefully it won't be as bad. And sorry about that. It was my daughter calling. But reels, okay, why do we even do reels? And like Angie said, it's because they are super fun, y'all. People are obsessed with reels. I'm obsessed with reels. My husband is, we both obviously work from home, so it's kind of a thing that we do. We send each other reels, and I guarantee you people all over the world are doing that. Like they find funny ones. And what's cool about reels too is like I've got a couple that I did literally weeks ago. Y'all, all of a sudden they're starting to get a whole bunch of views. It's like real, like sometimes, you know, you put a post out there, it gets all the engagement and then it's dead. And then so you post another one. Reels are so cool because every now and then you might get one that literally might go viral, you know, a month or two after you even post it. So it's a good way to just kind of still get interaction on your feed or whatever, and you didn't even do anything. So it's pretty cool. A couple tips with reels. Like Angie said, you know, you can batch reels, and that tip about planning ahead what she's going to post. Oh my gosh. I mean, I definitely need to do that because it does. I mean, I found that out with, you know, my team or with anything we do, you know, the more you plan ahead in advance, the less stressed you're going to feel. That's pretty much with anything in life. But if you know you have a plan, you can take a day that maybe you got your hair done and you're feeling cute and you got on makeup or whatever, and you're going to batch your reels. You're going to make like 4 or 5 reels, just the recordings in one day. And, you know, maybe you can change shirts or whatever, and you just go ahead and knock them out. But before you do that, you're going to need to search and find some that you want to recreate. Now, obviously you can be original, you can make your own reels, but honestly, I feel like starting out that it's best to go ahead and recreate the ones that are already viral, the ones that already have lots of views, and the ones that are, what's the word I'm looking for? That they're just super popular already. And people like to hear that audio, but then you put your own spin on it, and you really can twist almost any kind of reel. You can twist the post and make it about your niche. Like that's what's so fun about it. So I actually, to begin with, I was a little bit overwhelmed when I was like, reels, what are you talking about? I don't even know how to do this. And it stressed me out. And, you know, you can either find a teenager, because lots of teenagers know how to use these, or there's a couple people that you can follow. And we're going to give you those kind of at the end, some people that you can follow that have super simple tips, or, you know, they have a whole page dedicated just to Instagram tips and reels. And well, I'll go ahead and tell you one right now is Brock Johnson. And I think his name is just Brock Johnson. And then he and his mom, actually Shailene Johnson, they have a page together called Insta Club Hub. And I would follow both of those pages because they put great content. I think I like his page better. I don't know, but they both have great tips. They're kind of the same, you know, they Insta Club Hub is a little bit different, but Insta Club Hub, you can actually get a membership. You know, you can pay, it was $25 a month. I think they might have gone up slightly, but we can give you a referral. I can't remember. I think for a short time, maybe we could have given you a referral, but anyway, it might have gone up slightly. But I can promise you, I've taken several other Instagram courses and paid astronomically more than I did for this Insta Club Hub. And I was honestly kind of disappointed because I went back to Insta Club Hub because it's simple. It's short, like the videos are very short. They're very simple. They do have some live trainings, but you can go on there and literally find out pretty much anything that you've got a question about. It's on there. Like they've already thought about it. They've given these little tutorials, like literally anything. Like I couldn't figure out how to put the words, like whenever you're making a reel and you want the words to pop up at a certain time. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Like, how do you do this? So I just went to Insta Club Hub, and, you know, I do pay the fee every month, but honestly, it's so worth it to me because anytime I have a question, it's right there. Now, you can obviously just go to YouTube, and there's tons and tons of free videos out there. You can just search for pretty much anything that you are trying to figure out how to do on those reels, and it's there. So it does take a little bit of time. I'm not going to, you know, sugarcoat it and say it's super easy. It wasn't for me, but if you just sit down and just put a little bit of time into watching a couple videos. Y'all, it's actually, once you get the hang of it, you can do them super quick. So take a day to record your reels. And then on another day, when maybe you don't feel like getting dressed or whatever, but you're feeling a little bit more creative, take that day to actually edit the videos. Because that's, for me, that's what takes up more time, is actually editing them. But then that way you've got, I would say your goal will be to have like 3 to 5 drafts that are set and ready to go, so that whenever you need, to post a reel, you've got it. And maybe you're on vacation or whatever, but you've got these reels ready to go, and so you can still post and you're not stressed about it. So again, they're just super fun. And I feel like Angie said, your personality comes out. And this is what I loved about social media from way before I ever started Plexus, is just the funny part of it. Like, that's what I always loved. So that's kind of the reels that I like to do. But again, this is all about you and what you enjoy. And how often should you post a reel? Brock Johnson says every day. I would pick a number and just be consistent with it. If you only feel like right now you can only post 1 or 2 a week, just pick that number and go with it, and just consistently post them. And then, the more you get the hang of it, it won't take you as long, and you'll be able to do those batch ones. When I first started, oh my gosh, it probably took me 30 tries to do one, to get the words right and all that stuff. But another tip is when you're recording, because most of these are like 9 seconds or something, they're super short. Just the more you do them, the more views you get, then they'll give you more seconds. It's like you do more and they reward you. So I think mine are up to like 30 seconds right now, which is a long time for a reel. I don't have to use 30 seconds, but that's what I have. So a 9-second one, it doesn't sound like very long, but y'all, people's attention spans are so short. They literally will listen to you for like 7 seconds and then they're on to the next one. So I feel like the shorter ones are more effective anyway, because they're in and out. And if you can get your message across right away, then they're more likely to listen to it. So, like Angie said, find reels that you like or that you want to recreate, either in your niche or just a funny one or whatever that you want to change into your niche. You can search them in the search bar by, like, sometimes I'll just search hormone health and I'll find these people that have their whole page dedicated to hormone health, and I'll just go and see what funny videos they have that I like. And originally I was saving the audios, because you can save just the sound. And then I went back to go remake them, and I was like, I've got all these lists of audios, but there was no video, there was nothing, and it didn't really even say. It was very confusing. So now I just take the ones that I like and I just send them to myself in my messages, and then I always have them. You can save them and put them in like a album. Instagram gives you the option as well. But for me, it's just simple. I just send them in a message to myself, or Angie and I send them to each other all day long. And we find, cute ones that we feel like are going to be fun to remake. That's just kind of a tip that will save you a lot of time if you do it. So if you're not sure, like I said, to even how to do a reel, get a teenager or get on Insta Club Hub or just YouTube it. Y'all, it's not that hard. And I promise you, the more you do it, you're going to be getting into it just like we are. And I feel like, the first time I was like, I look so dumb. That's what I feel like. But now I'm like, oh, it's okay. This is a good time. We just kind of sit around and laugh at them. So I think it sounds scary. It's really not. I think you could have some funny ones in your shop and with nails, and oh my gosh, beautiful nail. Have you ever seen that? Oh my gosh.
Have boyfriend?
Yeah, you got boyfriend? There's so many funny ones that you could do.
Sending that one to you, Jen.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You literally could have a whole niche just with your nails, and it would be hilarious, actually. So I can think of a million things for you to do right now. It would be hilarious. Hi. I think that is it. Oh, if you're making a reel, make sure that you go ahead and save it to your phone before you put it in your drafts. That way you can just click on the little down arrow and you can just save a copy, just like you do in a little video on your story. That way, if your drafts for whatever reason get deleted, because that has been known to happen, and then you lose all your work and it's so disappointing. So they won't save with the audio, but but the video will save, and you can always find the audio and add the audio back to it. So, and if you've never made them and you don't have a clue what I'm talking about, don't stress about it. It will come naturally once you just get in the app, just click on the reels and just start playing around, because it might come to you a lot quicker than it did for me. It did for Angie. Angie got on there and she just like learned it really fast. It took me a little bit longer, probably a lot longer, to be honest. She taught me a lot. And if you've got questions, just message us. Like, we would love to be able to show you how to do just simple things that it's simple for us now, but when we first started, it wasn't very simple. So don't stress about it. Just kind of think of it as this is going to be something new, and it's fresh, and it's just more fun than just a regular post or a regular story.
And you can screenshot or screen record some of your reels. Yes. And a lot of times, as long as it doesn't have like copyrighted music, you go post it on Instagram or Facebook. Mm-hmm. Or you can repurpose it and post it on Twitter or TikTok. But I feel like a loser on TikTok, so I haven't gone there. But just so you know, like, you can repurpose your stuff.
I will say, if you do use TikTok, and I have a TikTok, I haven't really ventured out, but I have heard that it's easier to find the music and easier to make the words match up if you make the video on TikTok first and then put it on Instagram. So if that's your thing, that I think I would do it in that order. Like, go ahead and create it on TikTok, and then you can transfer it to Instagram. So yeah.
But don't overwhelm yourself with it. Like, it could really suck you in and be overwhelming. Just like dive in, face forward, fell forward, and just start doing it. And don't give your, like the devil, what is it? The devil is in the details. So sometimes just go and copy and recreate. And the more you do it, the better you'll get. I mean, it's just like messaging people or anything else. Like, the more you do all of that, the better you will get.
Yeah. I'll be honest, at my Bunko group last month, one of the girls had messaged me because she told me I looked like some Insta famous girl or something. And I was laughing about my Instagram, and another girl was like, "Oh, let's plug your Instagram." And I was like, "Oh, like, no, don't do it." I know.
Do that. I don't know what you heard about me.
Yeah, I don't know what you heard about me. I think it totally needs to do that one. But I was like, okay, now they know. It's like all the girls in my neighborhood. It's just funny. But they laughed, So they're super fun. Okay, the next thing we're gonna go ahead and move on, because we've just got a couple more just quick tips. Hashtags. And y'all, hashtags they always have been like a really big thing on Instagram. And Facebook uses them some, but it's more really an Instagram thing. They're very, very useful, because people, like we talked about before, they go in and they search these hashtags, and there might be a post that's got just say gut health. Y'all, that's gut health obviously is going to have like thousands, hundreds of thousands of times that it's been used in posts or reels. And so whenever hashtags, okay, a lot of times I don't just randomly put hashtags. Sometimes I do, but most of the time in a post, or especially on a reel, I have actually researched the hashtags that I'm going to use. Now, back in the day, you could post whatever like hashtags were relevant to your niche, and you use those. Like, so I would just save hashtags in my notes, and then I would just copy and paste those same hashtags on almost every single post. You cannot do that now. Your hashtags for your post and your reels and your stories, they have to be relevant to whatever you're posting. So Instagram is really smart. Like, they can even tell what you have in a picture. And so if you're posting hashtag gut health matters, but you're laying on a beach, and your post has nothing to do with gut health, they're not going to show that post to many people. So you have to be, kind of smart about it, and really think about the hashtags that you're going to use. Again, don't get so stressed out about it, because hashtags have actually gotten a little bit easier. They used to recommend at least 30 hashtags on every post. And so that was a lot. I mean, coming up with, and I'll be honest, some of those I just was like, okay, I just got to come up with something, because I ain't got time to, research 30 hashtags. But now and this has just been in the last, 2 months, I think they've changed it now. They say no, like between 8 and 15 hashtags is a good number. And so I don't think that this is like, I think that you need to experiment with it on your post. And yeah, I think you need to experiment with how many hashtags works for you, because some people have said that they still use 30 hashtags and that works better for their posts. So I think this is just kind of a guideline that Instagram put out. But I found that if I put about 8, 9 maybe, that works best for mine. I don't know why. It's just something with the algorithms. But again, you got to, test it out, and don't just anytime they come out with a new thing, you do have to test it out for yourself and see what works. So just because you put a post out there, you're like, oh my gosh, I got no views, or reel, I got no views, I got no nothing. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, y'all. It just means that, okay, next time we're going to focus on what time of day we're posting. We're going to focus on, interacting with other people before you post and after you post, just like Facebook. You're going to focus on that engagement, because your post will show up more in other people's newsfeed. Also, you're going to research your hashtags, and that's super important. I can't see what your comment, Krista. You can put the hashtags in the middle as well as the end. Yes. For a while, they were recommending that you put your hashtags in the comments of the post. That way it would give you a comment, and it would also, have your hashtags on there. Now they just, like, literally in the last day or two, they've said that they'll no longer be searchable if you put them in the comments. So that just means now you just got to put your hashtags in the body of your post. And that's okay. That's kind of how it used to be. So that's not really a huge change, I don't think. But just stick to the 8 to 15 hashtags. And there's a way that you can go in, and, when you search for a hashtag in the little search bar, you just put the hashtag, just say, I always keep using gut health. It'll show how many posts that hashtag has been used in. You want to
show on mine if you want.
Yeah. Can you pull it up?
Yeah. So the software that I like to use is called IQ.
Hashtag.
I actually have it up. It's IQ hashtags. And so let's just say, like, you're posting about wellness, like your whatever your post is. So you could go search whatever topic that you're wanting your post to be. And you want to look for the trending hashtags. So it'll take a minute. So it'll do the hashtags, but then what we want to click on are the trending, like what hashtags are currently trending for whatever your topic is. And then when you look at your hashtags, you want to go under 1 million. And really, you kind of want to be like between 500, 250 and 500, kind of that happy medium. But if you find something that's a little bit more, but still under 1 million, don't stress out about it. The thing I like about this app is, literally I could do, and I kind of look at this too, like what the, how it's trending, and it'll have, so maybe I'll put holistic, that's still, emotional well-being, wellness tips. And I could literally, stress management, immune health, supplements that work. And then I could hit copy, and it'll copy my hashtags, and then it'll just bring it right over, and I can put it into my, put it at the bottom of my post.
Yeah. Okay. This, it looks like it's complicated. It's really not if you use this app. And there are actually this, I believe we have to pay for this one, right, Angie?
Yeah, I don't know how much this one costs. I know that there are several different types of apps that you are ones that you can use. I just started using this one. It's easy, but there are several different hashtag softwares
That are,
that you can use.
yeah, there's some. I think there's one called HashMe. I think I used to use that one, and it's free. Just search for, if you don't want to pay for one, that's totally fine. You can just go and just find a free hashtag app. And like I said, don't spend a ton of time doing this. I mean, it is important, but the more you do this, I mean, the more, you can kind of add a thing every time you do a post. So don't stress about it. Just get in there, do the reels. Don't take yourself too seriously. Learn to laugh at yourself. If, and you're going to find what works and what doesn't work. I mean, it's not like you're going to, try to get, 10,000 followers in one day at all. So, as a matter of fact, that's another thing that Instagram just announced, and I don't even have the option yet, but they're rolling it out, is, it used to be, you used to have 10,000 followers to get that swipe up option. I don't, you've probably seen influencers where they have the swipe up option, and then you click on their website, and it, that's kind of why most people were wanting to get those 10,000 followers. They just announced that's no longer going to be a thing. It doesn't matter how many followers you have, that anybody is going to be able to have their link in their, I think it's in their stories. They're be able to have a link, and it's going to be more like a little sticker, but they're going to be rolling that out pretty soon. So that is a really super positive thing about Instagram. I get stressed so many times because they change it so much, but really the fact that you don't have to have that many followers right now, because really our goal should not be to have a gazillion followers. Our goal should be to be able to turn these followers into, paying customers and people wanting to join our team and building relationships with them. And I feel like it's a lot easier to do that with a smaller account. So
yeah, it is. And so don't stress yourself out over like, oh my gosh, I only have 200 followers or whatever, because sometimes, I mean, I would rather have 100 quality followers that
You could him some water.
are going to want to, do business with me or whatever, that I can help, than 10,000 random people that I don't even know who they are. So don't stress yourself out because you don't have like a big following. It's not always as important as the quality. Sometimes it's quality over quantity.
yes.
I'm going to go real quickly into a little bit of engagement, kind of just some key factors. It's just like Facebook, y'all. You have to prime the pump. I like to say, prime the pump, warm it up, get it going. So I really try hard, like before someone, before I do my post, engage before, engage after. Simple things that I do. Go to my post. Who's been engaging before? Who commented and liked? And I'll, if someone is a really big thing, if someone is taking the time to like your post, most especially to comment on your post, you need to reply back to their comment. If they're going and replying, if someone's showing you love on your post, you need to reply back, and you need to go to their wall and you need to comment on one of their posts. It's just kind of Instagram likes that you're engaging. And so you're going to see more of it. It's going to show more engagement. It's going to show that you're using the app more. And you're going to get in the feed a lot more if you are engaging and commenting. And it just is relational. I mean, it's just like the rule of thumb is supposed to be, if someone is going and liking your stuff, a lot of times they say, go and maybe like 3 of their, I mean, don't be like a creeper, but maybe heart 3 of their posts and comment on one of them. And that's just kind of giving more engagement on there. If you've already commented on all their posts and they haven't done anything new, look and see if they have anything in their story. Engage, go and make a comment on their story, y'all. And stories are a amazing way to engage with people, because it's a great way to get in their DM and start up a conversation with them. So stories are a great way to engage. And then when people comment on your post, you want to try to reply back as soon as you can. Something that I love doing on your phone, it won't do it on the computer, but on your phone, I think it's so cool because you could literally, click the little heart. And then if you go through, it'll tell you like Nicole made a comment. I can heart her comment and reply straight from my little feed right there. And so a lot of times before I do my post, I will go and click through here and make sure that I didn't miss replying to anyone's comment. If I've already done that, then I'll also go to my old post and I'll see like who's been loving my stuff. I mean, I literally go to here. Oh, wait. I go, it's like not, okay. I go here and this is all the people that liked my last post, and I just go to their thing and I comment or I do something in their story. So it's kind of engaging. And I try to do, I mean, I don't know like what the number is, but I try to do, 5 to 10 before and 5 to 10 after, just to kind of get it going in there. So something else that is really important, and I'm going to show you my, for this, my computer, is one thing that you get when you get a creator account is you get the insights. And so how do I view my insights from here? Let me see. Okay, let me just figure out how to view insights from my, nope, that's not what I want. Profile. Okay, I'm not exactly sure how to view insights from here. Okay, maybe you can't. I'll have to figure that out. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of try to show you my phone and how you view insights. So Instagram has this awesome thing called Insights. So if you look at my phone here below the post, below all of my posts, it'll say View Insights, and you can kind of see who's liked the post, who saved your post, commented. It'll kind of give you all the breakdowns, but on your phone breakdown, it will tell you like edit profile, ad center, insights. And so if you click on those insights and then go to where it says your audience, it's going to tell you all about your audience and like the age range, the demographics, where they live. Like it gives you a lot of information. But one of the most important things that I think on your audience is down here at the bottom, it tells you most time active. And you can click to every single day and see when your people, when your followers are on Instagram. If you click on top of that, it'll actually give you a number. Like, for me at noon, 700 people are on Instagram. This is really important because you're thinking, okay, what time of day should I post on Instagram? For everyone, it's going to be different because we all have different followers. Now, some of us may have similar times that are going to be good to post, and some of us may not. And even so, what you want to kind of hit is that medium. Usually what they say is that medium of the prime time. So for me, the medium of the prime time is kind of like, so example, 12 a.m. is 200, 3 a.m. is 138, 6 a.m. is 427, 9 a.m. is 661, 12 p.m. is 709, then it goes 3 p.m. 717, 6 p.m. 669, 696, and then it goes down at 9. So the good time for me to post would be 9 a.m. or 12 are really good times, or 3. And so you kind of pick those like 3 medium times where your followers are on more. You pick those 3 times and play around with it, because one time may be better than the other. So right now I have started my post this week. I'm like, I'm going to see what happens if I do my post at noon, because that's kind of when my rising time is. And y'all, noon is not a good time for me. Like, I'm not having that much success. So next week, I'm going to go back to the summer. Noon was great, but right now noon is kind of, so all week I've done noon. And then next week, I'm going to try 3 o'clock every day and see. And so kind of play around with it. And then you'll be able to see what times work best for your people. But that insight helps give you a baseline of what, when is an effective time to post. And then you also have to kind of think about your schedule and so forth. But that is your insights, and that's such an incredible feature to have. I think I've touched on everything for engaging, making sure you're responding, getting into people's DMs, always replying back to people is really, really important. You wouldn't go to someone's house and they say hello, someone tells you hello and you're not going to respond back. So you want to make sure that you're having that engagement back and forth, and then giving them the same respect and commenting on their post as well. And I think, you know what, something I just thought of on the stories that just popped in my head, something really good on the stories is if you can spread them out throughout the day, you're going to get more views on them. Because if you just put, I used to do a series of stories at 12 o'clock at night because I forgot to post all day long. And I'm like, oh, I'm just going to throw something in my stories. That is not going to be as effective as if you spread your stories throughout the day. More people are going to view, because every time, so if you do something, they say if you could do something every hour, but I know that's not possible for everyone because it could be a full-time job. But at least if you could say, okay, the morning, middle of the day, and evening, I'm going to try to do, kind of like 3 stories throughout, because every time you throw another story in there, it pushes you to the front. And so more people, it's going to give you more views. That was just something that popped in my head on those stories. So I don't think I have anything else right now. Do you, Brandy?
No, I think the last thing was just the people that we were talking about to follow. I put them in the chat. So it's Insta Club Hub and Brock Johnson and Hannah Marie Romero. She is actually a Plexus Jewel. And she's the really good one to follow. Abby Kappa is another one as well. So those are, I didn't put Abby in there, but she's a good one to follow as well. And y'all just don't stress about it. Have fun. Instagram is, definitely a different platform than Facebook, but I feel like you don't have to have, most of these people you might not even know that follow you. And if you ever feel like you're out of leads, Instagram is the place for you, because there are 100 billion people in the world. And I mean, there's just always somebody out there that needs what you have. So just have fun with it. And we don't want to keep you guys any longer because we have definitely gone over, but Instagram is, I mean, if you're watching this, and I should have said this at the very beginning, that, or if you want to share this video with anybody, just let them know. They don't have to watch it all at one time, but maybe sit down and, watch the first half, take some notes, and then come back to it later. But it's just, some tips that we've learned, and we are having fun with it. And I hope you guys do too. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great night, and thanks for hopping on. Thanks, Angie.
Bye.
Y'all.